we just want you to wash your shoes before you come into the house.
I was like, oh my God, can we move that pipe, please? Like, I mean, blowing water.
So Beth, I think, over the years, we've all had some interesting stories and things that have just been so out of the ordinary and kind of crazy things that have happened with some of our listings and working with some of our buyers and things like that. I'd love to hear about something kind of out of the norm that happened with, an open house, one of your listings or something.
So I have a lot of water issues apparently. So I'm selling, I was selling this super high-end property, broker open house. Ashley goes over to turn the lights on. She goes into the basement and there's this much water.
Oh, that's not good.
Not good. So the house is barely finished, right?
Okay.
No, this much water. So of course, we call the project manager. He comes running over. So he's like, the painter unplugged the sump pumps. So, and it was when the ice, when the snow was all melting and the backyard hadn't been graded yet or anything.
Okay.
So, I mean, this is a super expensive house. The finishes downstairs were so crazy. So the other problem was, though, because they hadn't finished their yard, the pipe for all this water, when he finally did the sump pumps, is blowing out the front of the house over the walk. So people are coming in and they're like, that's an awful lot of water. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's going to all be fixed. That's all going to fix.
We just want you to wash your shoes before you come into the
house. I was like, oh my God, can we move that pipe, please? Like, I mean, blowing water.
Oh, that's crazy.
And it was like a water fountain. There was no stopping.
And what do you do if, the temperature's below freezing? You're just blowing water that's going to turn into ice, and it's going to be a skating rink.
Yeah. Oh, I felt so bad. So I was like, the painter, right? Painter, unplugged.
Well, you know what? Everybody makes mistakes, but that's an
expensive one.
A very expensive one. That's not fun.
Not expensive. Yeah, not fun. How about you?
No, I've got a lot of interesting stories over the years, and I think this one, people ask me what craziness happens in real estate, and some of the stories I can't tell, and some that I can, and this one's kind of gross, but I'm going to tell it anyways.
All right, tell it. I feel like that's just sort of part of our skill set, like fast thinking. When things are just going crazily wrong in a house, okay, how do I fix this?
You see,
quickly.
Some people just panic and don't know what to do. But
right.
If you've been doing this a while, you figure out what to do.
Right.
I drive by a house every day that was maybe 12 or 14 years ago, where the owner lived in Florida. Her and her husband had a house in Arlington in my neighborhood, and she called me up and she said, Ed, will you go take a look at my house? I want an opinion of value. We're thinking about putting the house on the market. The neighbor has the key. I said, great, I'm happy to do that. And I went to the neighbor and, got the key. Neighbor came with me, let me in. We opened the door, and the first thing we heard was rushing water.
Oh, no.
Yes. So the seller was in Florida. The neighbor was supposed to check on the house every other day. Not sure when the last time the neighbor checked on the house, but the boiler had quit. So it had quit sometime within the last week or so. And the water pipe leading to the primary bedroom upstairs had burst. So for days or maybe even a week, water had been coming down from that into the house, into the basement. And my first instinct was to walk in and go down the stairs and shut off the water main. And as I started walking down the stairs, I saw
good amount.
At least 1.5 feet of water. And then it dawned on me, I'm not going to step in that water. The electrical in the house is live as well.
Right.
So
you're smarter than me. I did step in the water.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to risk it. I mean,
yeah. I was thinking, because it was a super old house, and I was, and same thing, water main, something broke. They weren't around. I mean, I was checking it every 2 days. I mean, it's a lot of water. Like, if you're not shutting your water off,
If that pipe breaks,
it's a ton. It's like
astounding.
pounds under pressure or whatever is like a crazy amount. So yeah, I walked downstairs and I was thinking to myself as I was walking through the water to go shut off the water, I was like, God, I hope I don't die down here. Like, I don't have a job, right? Like, I don't have a job. I'm not supposed to die on the job.
No, not at all.
I'm a realtor.
Not at all. But you know what? In some of those instances, the best thing to do is take a step back.
Yeah, that was a smarter way.
Yeah. I took a step back, walked outside of the house, made sure I had a full cell phone signal, and dialed 911.
Yeah,
and
that was
I
smart.
got to meet some fine gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen from the Arlington Fire Department who came in and were gracious enough to shut off the power and shut off the water. So
That was smart.
problem solved.
Yeah,
Hundreds of thousands later, the house
I know.
was fixed.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Water can do a lot of damage.
Water is a huge thing, and it only takes a little crack in the pipe,
Yep.
a little
Nothing. And then I
and
agree.
then you've got a water and then a mold issue and
Yep.
lots of issues that come along with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's terrible.
Wow, that was fun. We got to come
Yeah.
up with some more good stuff
I know. For next time.
next time. Yeah.